Hey gang, Scott Davenport here. Welcome to InPost. Thanks for joining me today. Today's going to be a quick tip and a rare Photoshop tip from me. I don't use Photoshop very often, but there are some things that it is perfect for, and today's photo is one of those situations for me. I have this scene here where I've done some work on it already. I've added some more green into the mosses here and done, the level of basic adjustments to get the overall scene looking good. But these buildings up in the upper right corner, they're a bit warped. That's what happens when we shoot at very wide angles. This was, what was this here? This was at, all right, 28 millimeters, so pretty wide, but there's some, tilting going on with those buildings out there. And I want to straighten those out. Now, Photoshop has a tool called Transform Warp that is perfect for this, and I'm going to use it along with a little bit of light masking to take care of this situation and just straighten those buildings out. So let's send this photo over into Photoshop with Edit in Photoshop, and I'll see you on the other side. So the photo's loaded in Photoshop, and let's do a couple of things here. First, I'll duplicate this layer. I'll do it twice. So I have my original, and I'll also duplicate one so I have what I'm going to add the warp to. So we'll have that. We'll work on the warp layer first and then do a little bit of layer rearrangement to do the masking at the end. So what the warp is going to let us do is it's going to let us to stretch the pixels around and straighten out the buildings. So with my warp layer selected, go into Edit, Transform, and Warp. We get this grid here, and as I grab control points, like there's one here, they're on this tic-tac-toe type board. As I grab one of these things, I can start pulling it around. You can see that I'm stretching all the pixels around. And I really just want to get this pulled and stretched so that the buildings are upright. And I'm kind of dragging this out close to an edge, and I can then drag inside one of these squares. And I'm just trying my best to pull the edge of this building roughly to where it was in the scene. Now, this is certainly warped and stretched out the ocean as well and the rocks, and I don't want that. That's where the masking is going to come in. So right now I'm really just paying attention to the buildings. Do I have my verticals good? And I got this set of buildings roughly in the same spot that they were before doing the warp. That looks pretty good, so I'll hit the checkbox. And the next thing I want to do is just do the masking part. So I want to have my original photo on top and then reveal these new straightened buildings beneath it. Layer panel, we'll take the original, we'll drag this up to the top. Need to create a layer mask. Go into layer, let's see, layer mask, reveal all is fine. And then with the brush tool selected, notice I'm going to be painting black. We'll make the brush a little bigger, and I'm going to hide now the buildings that are in my original layer and revealing what's been straightened out. So we're revealing what's on the warped layer. And I'll kind of sweep around through quickly just to get the pieces there, then shrink down the brush size and maybe tidy up right along the edge there. So that's a nice smooth looking blend. There we go. Make sure I didn't miss anything in the sky. All the trees kind of shifted over a little bit. So now let me reveal, turn off that original. Here's the warped version where we've straightened the buildings. And then with the original and the buildings straightened, just a little bit of masking, straightens out the buildings. And now I have a nicer or complete looking photo that those crooked buildings aren't bothering me. So that's the tip, the Transform Warp tool in Photoshop. It's one of the things I will turn to Photoshop for, because it's just the perfect tool for straightening out segments of your photo, a little light masking, and you've put everything back together and have a good full composite image. That's going to do it for this week's In Post. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, let me know somehow. Comment on the video below. Got questions about photography? Hit me up in the comments, or if you want to keep it private, you can send me a message through my website. And until next time, my name is Scott Davenport, and happy shooting.